So I like this prompt. This is a cool prompt. Also, hi Kevin. Good to see you. How's it going? Um, so the reason I didn't make a video last time, well, I did make a video, but I never uploaded it because Wi-Fi is a little weird here. I'm at college, by the way. Um, so about a year ago, it's kind of funny because in the last, let's say, last 14 months, um, the majority of the things that happened in my life happened, I'd say. Um, well, not the majority of things that happened in my life. The majority of things that happened in my life that are still affecting my life, other than a few bad thought processes and obviously everything I've ever learned. Okay, I guess I'm kind of rabbit holing. Is that a thing? Most of the things that affect me on a daily basis, other than like things I've learned, and cumulative stuff, have happened to me recently. Most of the friends I have, I've gotten in the last, I've gotten close to at least in the last 12 months. My girlfriend I've known for about probably like what 10 months, and well, I guess that's mostly it because at the moment everything around me is completely new, other than interacting with my friends who are still at home. The one friend that I had previously and my parents, who I obviously have known all my life. But yeah, in the last year, a lot has changed. My life, if I skipped that year and just came here, I would be miserable. Because I remember about a year ago, at the beginning of the school year, when I had just joined this private school nearby that I did my senior year at. I remember I'd gone there like part-time the year before, but it wasn't quite the same because I kind of went there then went home, and I wasn't calibrated for that level of social interaction, to be perfectly frank, and depressing, and it was overwhelming. The amount of time I was in school paired with being on the soccer team, the stresses of feeling socially inadequate, feeling athletically inadequate, and then just the press for time, not having all day to do my work and all day to learn, like I did when I was homeschooling. That kind of wore at me, and I remember like distinctly curling up in a ball, and like hating my life, and it was pretty crappy for a couple weeks there until I think like I dropped one class, which gave me a little more time, and then eventually soccer ended. And I'm kind of in that place now again. A lot better off though. Every so often I kind of want to curl up in a ball and just be miserable, but less I think than even when I was in my own home, with the support I had in place from my parents and already existing friends or friend, I don't know. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting because in the last, did I already say this? I tried filming earlier, but I was just saying, in the last year, most of the things that have affected me now have happened, and like most of the friends I have, my girlfriend, this move to college, my adjustment to daily interaction with peers, all that happened in the last 12 months. A lot has happened in the last 12 months. I've perhaps not so much changed my ideals, but perhaps became a little bit more set in and extreme in the beginnings of ideals that I had earlier on. Like, I think I was kind of always a little bit more on the deterministic spectrum of I don't know what the spectrum would be called. I was always a little bit deterministic, but as those 12 months went by, well, that was probably, I don't know, I became even more so, like that sort of thing. So yeah, my life has changed dramatically in the last year. being 16, basically everything, like it's not crazy to think 1 year has all these new changes. I mean, more so than someone who went to high school as a freshman and then had 4 years before their next big change to college. Like I have a little bit more than that per year, but even so, it's not that odd for young people. I don't think to have a lot of changes happening very quickly, relatively speaking. But yeah, it's really crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about how little time it took for all these changes to happen, for all these different ways for me to think, for all the new relational skills, for all the new feelings, for all the new ways to empathize with people. I don't know how much I'd say my life is going in a positive direction. I know there were times in the last 12 months that my life was beautiful and I loved it so much, and there were also times that I wasn't a huge fan. And one thing that seriously concerns me is that I might be going down a bad path with self-talk. I realized the other day that I'm pretty negative towards myself, and I don't know if I was always that bad. And that's one thing I worry about, one change that I'm worried about from the last 12 months. Then there are just the comfort, I guess, around other people. I'm still very uneasy around new people, but a lot less so. And I think that's great. And I think coming as a homeschooler, I think one of the biggest things that I needed to develop were my relational skills, my ability to interact with other people, and my social confidence. Like that was probably the most lacking thing in me, and probably still is, other than perhaps the ability to accept myself, and or oh, so this other thing that's really interesting to me, because I've had a good life up until now, and I mean still now, obviously some ups and downs, but one thing that kind of scares me is that for the first time, I believe, in my life, I'm in a situation where it's just going to be hard. In high school, it was never that hard. Under my parents' roof, it was never that hard. There weren't... If you were doing it right, it wasn't that hard. But the thing about college, I think... I don't know. I've only been a college student for like 2 weeks. But the thing about college, I think, is that... It's going to be hard no matter what you do. It's going to be a pain in the butt no matter what you do, and that is a little intimidating. It's a little intimidating that even if I work hard, I might still do badly. Because that's never really been a problem. Because high school, at least the high schools I did, were a lot more lax. And that's a really weird position to be in, having never really been in that position before. And I'm a little terrified and a little bit interested to see how that goes. Yeah, I just rambled and revealed a lot about myself that I may regret the world knowing. But